Hello everybody, welcome back to Shelf Life Extension. My name is Alexis, and yeah, it's kind of been a while, but hey, it's nice to be back. So yeah, hey guys, it's been a while as I have mentioned because I have been working a lot. If you didn't check out the last video that I posted, then you would probably not know that I am working multiple jobs again. You know, I've always been working at least 2 jobs, but lately I've been working 3 for various reasons. So yeah, if you want to check out that video, go for it. It's totally there for you to view. Otherwise, I figured since I haven't been on here and I haven't been doing much, I would just, you know, talk about the things that I've been reading lately, you know, get some little blurbs here and there and blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna follow any formula, but I have read a lot of things, and I'm sorry if you hear the door, it's because the window is open because it's hot as balls and I can't keep the door closed because of the kitties. Psst. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna talk about books. I'm gonna talk about some books that I've been reading up to this point, pretty much ever since I filmed that last video. So there are a few things that I'm going to talk a bit more about. There's a few things I'm just gonna mention a thing or two about. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started. I hope you guys enjoy this video and, you know, stick with it till the end. So let's go. So I totally finished Leviathan Wakes, and if you follow me on Snapchat, then you would have seen my little Snapchat rant about that book. I have feelings, it's good, I liked it, it's so long, and I really don't understand how that one book is like literally #1 in a series of like 5 or 6 or however many books is in that series. I think it's utterly ridiculous because that book in itself could have been chucked down into 3 more. It's so big. And you know, I gave it 4 out of 5. I thought that once at like the one point, I'm just gonna say it, so I'm sorry if this is spoilery or whatever, it's literally zombies in space, and I was like, oh, zombies in space. I mean, I guess that's pretty cool, but it's been done before. Because it's like, it's one thing when people are like, oh my gosh, there's this disease and people are eating each other, and then it's another thing for people to be like, oh my god, it's zombies. Like, so very obviously being like, it's zombies. And that's what happened in that book, so that kind of turned me off to it. It was okay. I think, you know, it's still cool. I am tempted to like continue with the series, but I probably will not be doing that. And then following Leviathan Wakes, I went on to read Eligible by Curtis Settenfield, which is a Pride and Prejudice modern day retelling, which, you know, I was like, oh my god, this is great. And it was an ARC, so I got it for free, so I was like, I am taking this and I'm gonna read it and I'm probably gonna love it, and it was okay. They reimagined certain characters in certain ways that I really didn't agree with. So I ended up kind of really hating characters that I actually really enjoyed or didn't really have an opinion of in the originals. And then I thought for the most part that Eliza was kind of annoying and non-existent really in this reimagining. So that in itself, and then of course they like aged them up in this version. They are like, rather than being like, you know, what, 20, 21, they're like 38 and 40, like legit spinster status. But I guess, you know, in modern day that would be a proper age, you know, to kind of put them in. But yeah, it kind of fell off at times. So there was that. But I wanted to read it because it was a Pride and Prejudice retelling. So hey. After that, I did a reread of Demon in My View by Amelia Atwater Rhodes, and that is a small book, but it was a book that I read way back in the day in middle school. One of my favorite books from when I was a young little kitty, and I still really enjoyed it. It's so easy to get through. It's literally like 100 pages. It's nothing. It's about vampires. It's a girl who wrote a story about vampires, but she didn't realize what she was actually writing was true, and so the vampires that she was writing about kind of come after her. So it's like, what? That's a little fun one, a little good nugget if in case you are ever interested. And then following that, I did a buddy read with Wish Fulfillment here on YouTube. I will link her channel below, and we read Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. Overall, it was a meh read for me. I thought it was okay. There were some cute moments. The characters could be fun. Like, overall, I kind of thought that it was really gimmicky, really predictable, and overall not groundbreaking, not enlightening, not necessarily empowering, considering it is about a young girl who is overweight and how she tells everybody to screw off and joins a beauty pageant. So, you know, that in itself is a storyline that I thought would be really fun, and I didn't really feel it. I just wasn't really feeling it. And then following that, I read A Discovery of Witches. I was very interested in checking out this series. I had seen it all around. It's always advertised. It's always on promotion as far as like in the store. So I was like, I've heard good things. It looks cool. It sounds cool. I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's about a girl who is like working on her PhD or something. So she's a young scholar. She's also a descendant of witches, and how she stumbles upon this like grimoire, and she's like, nah, I don't want to deal with it. But then everybody's like, where the heck did you get this grimoire? Because it's been missing for thousands of years. How are you able to find it? And why didn't you keep it? And it kind of, you know, sets off all these events and all that good stuff. And so it sounded cool. I wanted to get into it. It is so very Twilight-y. So very Twilight-y. I like, So that in itself caused me to not continue with the series, and I just stuck with the one book because, like, legit, when I say Twilight-y, I mean like all 4 books of the Twilight series is like in this one book. So many things happen, and I just wasn't down for it. But I finished it, I read it, and it's sad because I do want to know what happens, but I'm not doing it. You know, after that bad boy, I had to redeem myself, so I read The Firebird by Susanna Kearsley. So I am officially done with all Susanna Kearsley novels. Officially done. I have nothing left. I have nothing to look forward to as of right now because she has not announced anything. But it was great. One of her biggest novels out of her collection, but just great. It's about a girl, Nicola Martyr. She has psychometry? She touches things and she can catch glimpses of the people who owned it, touched it, the time period, blah, 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 all that good stuff surrounding it. And how she is on a mission to find the history and past and prove that an artifact is legit. And yeah, it was a lot of history as far as like in a definitely different time period than the rest of her books are usually placed. So it was a lot of fun, made me feel good. I liked it, so I read it, and I'm done, and I'm sad. But I love it. So again, Susanna Kearsley. And then kind of following that same thing, I picked up Lost Amongst the Living by Simone St. James, which again is also her last novel that she has published. So I have nothing else to read from her either. I really enjoyed this one. You know, again, one of my more favorite authors, though I will say it did get kind of predictable, which can happen with some of her books and some of her writing, but it was still a lot of fun. It's about a woman named Jo Manders whose husband dies in the war, and in which case she is left to kind of care for his ailing aunt, and how she goes with her to this mansion that they live in, and she's like, shit, it's haunted, and you know, of course, because it's like slight horror, fantasy, supernatural stuff goes down, and it's fun. I like it. Simone St. James, go for it, get it, do it, just and then after that I picked up The Fire Sermon by Francesca Haig, mainly because I saw that The Map of Bones was on our front list and I was very interested in what that book was about, not realizing that it was in fact the sequel to this one. So I picked up this one because I was wanting to find out what happened in that second one. It was good. It was good. I felt for the most part it was actually kind of not as intense as I was hoping it was gonna be. I would say like Hunger Games is way more intense than this. It says right there, for readers who enjoy the Hunger Games. But yeah, it's like about this society set 400 years in advance in the wake of nuclear fallout, and how people are born in pairs, the Alpha, who are like normal as all hell, and then the Omegas, who are usually physically deformed, or they have some sort of power, psychic power or something or other, in which case the Alphas are like, no, we want a perfect society, and so they kick out the Omegas, and the Omegas are forced to be like living in villages shunned without like any government help, and blah 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 blah. It's like screwed up, and how this one girl is an Omega, but she has a psychic power, not a physical deformity, so they couldn't tell what she was, and how in fact she has the power to find this very hidden place called the island where all these Omegas are running to, in which case they want to find that island and bring the Omega resistance down. That was a lot. Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It wasn't bad. I read all of it. It kept me interested. I definitely kind of want to know what happens, but yeah, it's kind of predictable. Wasn't as intense as I thought it was going to be. But I mean, if you think it sounds cool, I say go for it. So I also read The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. That's the thing that I did. I did read The Fifth Wave, and I actually really liked it. I watched the movie first. That's just something that I did. I really prefer Cassie in the book, but I really prefer Evan in the movie. I prefer everything between them in the movie. But yeah, I definitely plan on continuing with the series eventually. Not anytime soon, I don't think, but I definitely want to. So there's that. And then next I read Tin Men, and this was the first arc that I ever picked up from Barnes & Noble. So I've been holding on to this thing forever. First went on sale in June of last year. So I was like, it's been a year, I should probably read this thing. so I picked it up. It's pretty cool. I really liked it, actually. It's about how in the future, pretty much America is policing the world, not like we aren't now, but like more so, and we've developed the technology to get people's consciousnesses into these robots, in which case the robots would be sent and deployed rather than real people, so there's no, you know, risk of human lives, and so in which case, yeah, they're out in the world and they're doing their thing, but it follows a particular group of people and how the terrorists like screw up the system and how they get cut off from the servers that allow their minds to stay in the robots, in which case they are stuck in the robots. So like straight up their minds are stuck in their robots and they can't get back to their real bodies, which are in tubes in Germany, kind of like Avatar status thing. It's about how they have to not die, not get blown up, because they don't know if they die in their robot at this point if their mind would go back at all, if it's at all possible to even bring your mind back after that. So it's like this huge thing. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely so out of my comfort zone as far as like what I like to read, but I really enjoyed it. I thought that the story and the concept was really cool, and it's like one of those things where it's not so far-fetched that it's completely unimaginable at all. So I really enjoyed this. If you guys are super into like Avatar meets Halo meets war story soldier sci-fi fantasy things, and you should definitely check out Tin Men. And then following that, I read Ready Player One, which you guys, like, this has taken me forever to read this dang thing, but I finally did it. So you guys, thanks. I really liked it. Again, slightly disappointed. It wasn't as intense as I thought it was gonna be. I definitely didn't realize that the characters in the book were as young as they were, and I definitely thought that it was gonna play out a little bit differently as far as how it was being described. And I know obviously it's really hard to do with, considering everything that happens is in the virtual reality world of the Oasis, so it's hard to really explain how and like keep apart the fact that it's a physical human being but they're operating through their avatar in a virtual reality. But overall, I did really like it. I liked it enough that I went and picked up Armada, because that is in paperback and it was on our one of our sale tables, so I went and did that. And then following that, I picked up The Cellar. This is actually my friend's copy, but because it's a very popular book recently, it's been on our end caps and displays a lot. It's just been one of those books that a lot of people are talking about. It's about this girl named Summer who gets kidnapped and forced into a cellar where 3 other girls are already pretty much stuck, and how they are all then named after flowers, in which case Summer becomes Lily. Overall, the book is about her trying to figure out who the heck this guy is that kidnapped her, who the heck these other girls are in the basement, how long they've been there, what are the chances of them getting out, and then it also takes the point of view of the guy who kidnapped her as well as her boyfriend. I actually really hate Summer as a character. I think she's so annoying. I think that the way that it ended up playing out and the way that the story ended, I really didn't agree with. It just gave me so many feelings, but it was definitely entertaining enough. It's awkward, it's creepy, it's dark, and so it was easy to get through. But I will mention obviously that it is a Wattpad sensation thing, in which case if you guys use Wattpad, you might understand why I'm saying the things that I am saying. If not, then I'll definitely, you know, talk to you more about it below. And then to follow all of this up, I finished Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I have been reading this literally for the past year, when I was like, I'm gonna read all the books before I go to Walt Disney World and Wizarding World of Harry Potter. But then I never did. Yeah, so I started this one and then I never finished it. Well, hey you guys, I finished it. Yay! And I can definitely see why this is a lot of people's favorites. It definitely gets dark real fast and you're just like, oh, okay. But again, it's Harry Potter, so I'm glad I finished it. So yeah, I read a lot of books, and you guys, again, if you don't follow me on Goodreads, you definitely should, because I'm constantly updating that thing with all the books that I read. Twitter as well, even though I'm not super active on there, I try to at least go on there every day, as well as Instagram, and then I'm gonna try and update my Facebook page more often as well. So again, thanks you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Share this video, you know, if you feel like it, that'd be pretty cool too. And then otherwise, I will check you guys out later. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Just, you know, comment down below, and I'll see you there. All right, bye. Following that, I have read Eligible by Curtis Sittenfeld? How do you spell his name? Sittenfeld. And then following Leviathan Wakes, I went on to read Eligible by Curtis Sittenfeld, god damn it. And then following Leviathan Wakes, I God, I suck.